Welcome back, guys, to another video of Guild Wars 1 in 2024. Here we are playing another game of Fort Aspenwood, and you can see that I'm running on the Luxon side here. And I'm playing as a ranger with a pet. So the flux right now is the meek shall inherit. So without an elite skill, I gain +2 to all my attributes, +2 health regeneration, and +1 energy regeneration. It's a very strong flux. You can make some pretty good builds without an elite. Makes it kind of fun to try things differently. The problem here, though, is that my pet, mistakenly, is the Hound of Balthazar. So it's only a level 5 pet, which I have named Not Neutered. So normally I would have my level 20 pet, which is usually a black Moa, but I made a mistake here. Nonetheless, he still deals normal damage, it seems. He's still hitting for strong hits, but his health is weak. But I can keep on just reviving him. If he dies quick after I revive him, I don't suffer the skill disruption where all my skills recharge. And really what's strong about this build is Brutal Strike. For Brutal Strike, if the enemy is under 50% health, my pet will hit for some serious damage. He's usually hitting for, 60, 70, 80 damage, depending on the armor of the other character. And then this build's good just for spamming conditions. I can spam bleeding, spam burning. And it's easy. I don't really use a lot of energy spells, but I do have Scavenger Strike. So if my pet hits an enemy that's suffering a condition, I gain energy. And then I have this Atua's Cry. So my pet gains armor and becomes unblockable. So a very strong skill. And then Run as One. This just allows a speed boost for me and my pet, which is important, right, when the enemies are running away, to be able to use it, and for me to also speed up the action a little bit. Now, I don't think I'm using it during this game, but I think I'd recommend a Vampiric Spear, honestly. No real need for a Zealous Spear. Energy management is not really a problem. You have a decent amount in expertise with this attribute setup. So, I think I have maybe like 10 in Spear Mastery, maybe 12 in Beast Mastery, and then the rest in expertise. Maybe that's another 8 or something. And pets are pretty strong here. They add another element to this game. I think they're good in Fort Aspenwood. They're oftentimes rarely targeted as well, so they can just continue to deal damage until you actually kill the person who's controlling the pet, or actually force yourself to address the pet threat and kill the pet. But the problem is that they can just use Comfort Animal and revive it pretty easily. So if you're good, you can interrupt their Comfort Animal. If you're a Mesmer, a Ranger, get a distracting shot or even diversion. That's kind of key, but that's not always easy to do. Another thing that would make this build probably stronger is instead of Scavenger Strike, I could use Disrupting Lunge to add a little bit of disruption into this build. So there's lots of different variations you could do. This was one of my first times kind of trying this out, just to try out this flux. See 67 damage, pretty good. Again, I can just keep on spamming all these conditions and add pressure all around the map. And I'm a fan of the ranger armor too. You do face lots of elementalists in Fort Aspenwood, so it's good against that. And then a lot of the mesmers you face are just running things like Wastrel's Demise or Wastrel's Worry. And with this build, you can spam enough skills to kind of counteract that. So it can be pretty strong. Be weak against other melee characters, like the ones that are attacking you now. But you should be able to kite away by using run as one. But it does rely on a healer on your team because it doesn't really have any self-heals. There we go. We have the gatekeepers down, and now we just got to kill Gunther. So I want to add a little bit of pressure on this monk, so he can't just spam all his heals. He has to also heal himself. Maybe have to run away a little bit. A little bit of psychological pressure. So it's good to attack the monk too. And force him to back up like we did there. See, especially in these situations when you have this long run back into their gates, it's nice to have some kind of a speed boost. But after all that work, you can see my team is getting pressed out. You know, we were able to kill their gatekeepers, but we got pressed out, and one of our turtles is dead now too. But it looks like we're all kind of coming in at once. I want to see if I can kind of sneak by and start to put some pressure on Gunther here. So perhaps I pushed a little too early and tried to rush a little bit too quick. But I wanted to get some enemies to fall back, allow my team to kind of get up there easily. And teams here too oftentimes get stuck in battle with each other when the action should really be towards killing Gunther. So sometimes you do have to stop and fight the enemy team, but at times the battles become too long and you lose focus of the ultimate aim of Fort Aspenwood, which, if you're on the Luxon side, is to kill Gunther, or on the Kurzik side, is to keep him alive. So here my focus kind of shifts, but Gunther dies, and that's the end. So good game.